And we are live here today with the ROX mods. This day hopefully going to be the real one. This is the second group of qualifying. If you guys will hold for a second, please. I want to make sure everything on the stream is up and ready to go. Yes, it is. So how this is going to work, we are going... Can you guys in group 1, please sit this one out. We did group 1 yesterday. Those were the guys that came to the show on Thursday. Couldn't get one going there, but we'll probably get one going today. Proto. I will teleport you back when it's your turn. Yeah. I will teleport you guys back once it's time. So, that being said, group 2, watch the lights. This one is green, it is go. Green flag. You guys are clear to go full speed. Again, there's no holding you guys back. It's just right off the bat, green go. Timer will start as soon as the car crosses the start-finish line. So far, bound for that is most likely going to be Rebel 21. Rebel 26, excuse me. Taking over a new name there. There's Surfing Rebels. He's going to make his way down to the first corner with some speed. Shibe, I think the only car actually in the field that partook in last year's race, believe it or not. He was a little bit late to the show yesterday, couldn't quite make anything, and he is here today. Also Steve Waters making an entry. Glad to see him back. I hope all is well in the 20 NOS machine. And let's see what these sectors look like now. Making our way down the back straight again. As these qualifying sessions only have 3 laps, it might be better just to get a lap in than to not get one at all. Especially for some of the other drivers here. Of course, you'll be starting behind the guys from Group 1. But that'll be it for today. Anyways, 4 minutes here. And again, current pack lead is Rebel in the GGS 26 car. Again, 2 cars in the field representing GGS. 1 car in the third so far by position. That is the NH Motorsports car being driven by Steve Waters. The 20 Toyota NOS Energy car. Let's see what it looks like though. Up at the front through the GGS. You guys, of course, are allowed to cut that corner. Just not allowed to cut where there are cones. Does look like Shibe's starting to close in a little bit of that gap, although he does have corner cuts. There is one car that has none that might be bound for the fastest time in this group. That is Steve Waters. He's got 2 valid sectors. Let's see if Sector 3 goes that way. Out of the final turn, and Rebel's going to lead his first lap. Still pack leader, 2 laps to go most likely. Okay, that clears that out. So Steve Waters with a 201.511. That is going to be the first foul lap of the night. And here is Shibe for pack lead. And a little bit of a lot of time here for anyone else to join. Shibe is now going to make the pass for the pack lead, making his way into the hairpin down by the hotel. I think Rebel might have invalidated his lap. Look at that. Purple Sector 2 for Shibe. 32.545. They were looking very fast in the practice session, actually up to pace with Jackson Cook, so we might be seeing a lead battle developing today. Of course, Speed Editor 1 was also right up there on pace until he made a bit of a mistake. So, from that little taste, little 5-lap taste from yesterday, could show today's going to be full of action. Anyways, here onto the second lap, making the way through Sector 3 now. A purple Sector 2 for Shibe, 41.350. That's a very solid time right there, if you ask me. He's going to now make his way into the back straight. Right there by the grass at the limits. It also looks like Rebel, if he could stay clean here, has a good shot potentially to overtake the second place spot. And if Shibe validates this lap, which I don't think there's anywhere else here at this point, Leave the grass down on that inside. 2 purple sector 1s, or purple sector 1, purple sector 2, and top of the board, a 152.435. The white flag coming out for Shy, but everyone else wants to cross through. This is qualifying group 2, by the way. So, one last lap for the second group. Again, that's kind of about how I expected things to go. Let's see what first sector looks like for Shibe. He's kind of backing it off. Might have invalidated his lap. It's not, but he seems confident to have a pole here. Looks like Steve Waters won't be making the show. That's okay. We still got the 2 TGS cars. I got Shy and Rebel. Big bro Caden Larson has made it to the show, so he'll be able to start, I believe, from the 5th place spot, not 6th place. So here's Rebel's shot. That is a very good looking sector 2, I must say. Not a bad sector 1. I don't know if it's going to be within range of Shy, but let's see what we could cook up here coming into the final turn. The checkered flag going to come out and just make your way around the course and pull into the pits afterwards, the normal ones. Checkers are out and nope. 155.4. Just keep on going around the course. If we could, I'm going to now teleport Jackson. I'm also going to teleport 1TM. He's here. Alright, can we... No. Okay. Just line up the pit lane. Shive is pulled into the pits. Shive, if you can make your way to the club pits. I just want to give us a little bit of extra time. Jackson, stop. Jackson, E24BB, go back. Yeah, we will, but... just go to the club pits. Alright, we're gonna look at the track, try to figure out where this Rebel. Looking for Steve Waters' car if he left it on track. And he did. So we're gonna move into the pits for him. So if you guys could get in order, again, the guys that qualified, you could check the announcements to see your positions. We are doing single file. We are going to do basically like a lap and a half. Or lap and just a bit over a lap, pretty much. But the order is... again, on race announcements, it is the results of yesterday's qualifying, not the results of yesterday's race, the results of yesterday's qualifying. The race yesterday was for fun, leave it for the 50 Robux that was earned by... yeah. And I don't think Jake is racing, so... yeah. Yeah, no Jake. Alright, let's read out the order. Again, the following order is as follows. First place is Jackson Cook. Second place behind him is going to be 1TM Proto. Yeah, you can just line up from there. So Proto's going to be in second place. Please leave the spot open there, E24BB. You are in third, so just leave a spot open for him. Once you guys have done so, please turn your engines off and hop out of your cars. We will be doing the national anthem tonight. Shive's ahead of Surfing Rebels. However, behind them is Speedetzer, or behind E24BB is Speedetzer 1. And then Sharks, if he joins, I'm going to DM him again. Guys, can we please get into order? Shy, back it up. Caden, please move up to where everyone is lining up. The corner cut limit for today, before the first 5-second penalty, will be at 30 cuts. Once you surpass... I didn't say you weren't. Or else I wouldn't have teleported you. Yes, that was qualifying too. That was the second group qualifying. It was the guys that missed yesterday. So... we are currently waiting on 1TM Proto. So we're gonna give 5 minutes. Oh, that's 5 seconds. We're gonna give 5 minutes, and if he's not back by then, we're just gonna go without him. Actually, nah, 3 minutes. 5 minutes is way too fucking lenient. Yeah. Well, no, Caden's ahead of you. But if he causes it, what's the issue? Oh, I didn't teleport you. Sorry. That explains a lot. Okay. Okay. Alright. Let me move Speedy's car up a little bit. Or turn it off. Let's make our way up to spots. You guys are good where you are. I'm going to remove the extra cars, leave it for the guys that partook in yesterday's qualifying. I'm going to give them an opportunity to make a late entrance. I'm surprised that Braden's not here. He joined the server, but just seems like he isn't interested. What happened? Alright. We're just going to start clearing out all the extra cars. We'll be doing the national anthem in a short little bit. Then we're going to do our pacing. So we have 7 cars. However, I do know the field we have today is a very competitive field. Oh, he also retired, kind of. But we do have a very competitive field for today. So, it should make for a lot better race than we saw yesterday. We had 5 people. Today we got a whole 7, and I think there's about 5 drivers here that are really going to be out here to shake things up. So for pace speed, just go cruising speed. Make sure there's a good space between you and the car that's ahead of you. Oh, I accidentally deleted Shark's car. That's okay. He's probably not going to show up anyways. You could take his car. So everyone's car is off. We'll be playing the national anthem very shortly. Let me just find a good audio. That should do it. I could think of... Nah. I'll say that for later. Alright. The flag is over there by a little bit past the hotel hairpin, but it's up in that general area. A little bit more to the right. So... Drivers to your car, start your engines up, rev them high. Alright. Once you are ready, please get into your car. If you are not, then you can hop out. But once you are completely ready, then you can feel free to get into your car. We're going to change all laps. -2, I think that should hopefully be good. Let's see how things are looking here. Still got a couple cars in the back, but let's run our little intro theme. You guys won't hear me for a second, but I'm gonna turn the audio off once it's done. So. Let's look at your grid today here from the back to the front. 7th place is Rebel 26 in the number 26 DGS machine. Ahead of him, also representing DGS in the Whelen Cadillac number 7 cars, it's Shibe 21, also representing DGS. Up ahead of that, in the 5th place spot, the white and gold 24 car being driven by Caden Larson. And the 59 up ahead of him in 4th place, got 2nd place in yesterday's fun race. It is SpeedXR 1. And now up to the first podium spot, the 45 car being driven today by 84BB Best Vibes, a very competitive driver. Another very competitive driver up there in the 57 is none other than 1TM Proto. And today's pole sitter, having had some bad luck in the last race at Richmond, but to a very strong pole, Jackson Cook. Alright. We have everyone in our cars. Watch the lights. We will be going yellow. Corner cut limit for today is going to be 30 cuts before your first 5-second penalty. Please make sure to give each other space. Again, these things are going to be a little bit lagging when the first get going. There is no double file pacing. There's no choose lane. We just get straight off to business, alright? So, we're going to do one more lap around here. 924 PB, if you can move up just... Okay, you're good there. Good there. Looking pretty much okay here. Get a little bit up there. Again, the jump rules are still valid, although it should be a little bit easier to enforce since Jackson is the only person in the front row. This is again a 20-lap race. So, things are going to be pretty intense here. Again, both the 57 and the 38 bound to be racing their hearts out, but Best Vibe, again, a big rival. Tends to be a little bit weaker on the road courses. Speed at R1 though showed he has some absolutely fantastic pace here. As long as he can stay out of trouble, he could be a big threat as well. And then we have Shy making a late entry. He's going to make his way up through the field today, but he might be able to come up on top. He was looking very fast in practice. Of course, we also have other drivers making up the field here. We got Rebel, again, racing for GGS in the 26 machine. Hayden Larson, if you can move it up a little bit. Speaking of which, the next driver up there. A bit of a new driver to the series. Their first experience on a road course. They had some last night, finished in 5th place. Let's see where they could get going today. Alright. Caden, if you're... I'm just going to ask Caden to move to the back. You're causing issues for Shibe and Rebel, so... Caden, if you could, Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, okay, you're lagging, so... Just move to the back, you should be okay. Yeah, the corner cut today will be 30. We're going to clear out the cuts once we hit the back straight. We're going to turn the lights black here. Remember, no passing until you cross the start-finish line, but I'll make sure that when we get going, it's going to be pretty close to the start-finish line. But, so that it shouldn't be an issue. So another difference between this and the ovals is we do not do spin cautions here. We do flip cautions and stuck cautions, but we do not do cautions for spins because that is a very common occurrence on these tracks. And spin is not as detrimental here as it would be on an oval, so do lock in. Here we close into... Alright, I'm not going to change the cuts at any point from here on, so if you get any cuts, it is on you. We are having some lag, but hopefully it'll clear out before we go green. Okay. So 7 cars making up today's field. Very competitive field, though. And make our way to the final corner. Green flag. Speed at turn 1 with a jump. Give up 2 spots, Speedy. Give up 3 spots, Speedy. That is, in fact, a jump. Go a little bit wide, a little slow here. Everyone else clean. So there is one jumper. That is a 59 of Speedy at R1. Again, give up 3 spots. First one is here. Don't need to slam the brakes, just by the end of the lap. Okay, you're clear. Got 3 wide, 4 position. Oh, an 824BB got to spin out, but they keep it going. A little bit of trouble. Thankfully, we got we got 19 and a half laps to work with here. Not the end of the world, but he's going to be in this pack of slower cars, make their way down the back straightaway. I'm also going to read myself. It's almost like nothing's happening. Anyways, onto the action. Side-by-side, 824BB and Rebels. But let's look at the front of the field. 1TM Proto has taken the lead. Meanwhile, side-by-side between Shibe and Speedy at R1. Speedy's going to go hot on the brakes, so does Shibe. They both go off out of the corner. And it looks like Speedy at R1 gets the exit speed. Again, coming into Sebring, he has become a whole new animal. And it's really showing what he's got. But I do got to remind you guys once again that there is a 30 corner cut limit. Once you surpass that point, you'll get a 5-second penalty added to your race time. There's no way to undo that. It's just... Once you have 30 cuts, that's just what you're going to have to deal with. Once you get 60 cuts, that'll be another 5-second penalty, and then if you somehow get 90, that'll be your day. I think those cut limits are still pretty lenient for a 20-lap race. So, let's see where we go to the final corner. Here is Jackson Cook down the inside. He will take the lead. Once Team Proto's going to have to file back to the second place spot. Again, he made the spin early on in yesterday's feature. The race for 50 Robux. Today's for 100, by the way. And for points. So, seemingly he's learned from that. Shows he does have the pace to keep up here. There's Speedy side by side still with Shibe. Shibe's going to get some exit speed off of turn 1, though. Now we look at Jackson Cook to the front of the field, side by side between himself and 1TM Proto. 1TM Proto with a run. Down into the hotel hairpin we go. Hard into the brakes goes one team Proto Jackson Cook. Jackson Cook is going to get a little bit of a slower exit than Proto, but he's still right behind him. Here's Shibe, again, the biggest mover of the race, by far the number 7 Cadillac machine. Had to start practically from the back of the field, made his way up. Now currently in a podium battle, might be able to strike up there for the lead. You also see 84BB has been doing pretty good for himself. He's recovered and is starting to draw in these other drivers that are up ahead of him. One team Proto to the front of the field, but Jackson Cook seemingly closing in through the S's on Sector 3. Shibe's going to cut straight through there. He is allowed. That is the one place. Just cannot have cones. Here we are side by side for the lead. Jackson's going to get a little bit of a flick of looseness into the back straight, but he will carry the speed. He carries the pace. They run it side by side for the lead. Closing now upon the final turn. I want to say, Big Bro, you are 1/3 the way to a penalty, so do watch yourself. I don't know if it's going to affect you as you stand. Anyways, a crossover off the final turn. Jackson Cook to the lead. Just behind him, one team Proto and Shibe Speedy. A very good race today. 84BB closing in a little bit on the rear of Speedy at R1, drawing in little by little wherever he can. Proto's going to get loose. A good save, stays out of trouble. Steve, you can race. So, Steve, if you are in the VC, you are clear to the track, but you got to get going. And off screen, something big there happened to Jackson Cook. Some sort of spin of sorts. That allows Proto to get up to the front. So unfortunately, when we were teleporting Steve, I'm very sorry. I don't know what quite happened there, but judging by what happened, that was a spin. As we now see Shibe and one team Proto side by side. Speedy on the podium. Shibe gets a flick of looseness. The 57 is going to have to stay right there in the rear diffuser. So, now down the back straight. We do have a late entry to the show. That is Steve Waters. If there is a caution, he will be able to get a lap back. It does look like the field's kind of spread out their own way, but 84BB, after his catastrophic spin, has moved his way up to 4th place. Speed hits R1 loose. He's going to spin her out. Oh my god, on the final turn, he's going to file back to where he's been. There is Rebel making the move by them. An unfortunate mistake there for the 59 Toyota Speed hits R1. There's been a lot of big mistakes made throughout the field, so that is a bit of a rough one to see. Still a lot of time to make up. It does look like Shibe is starting to get a little bit ahead of the rest of the field. We could be seeing a winner-winner chicken dinner situation here in DGS tonight. It all depends on if the 57 of one team Proto can close down that gap, or if any of these other guys become a factor. I'm just gonna let Steve run if he does, just to have the field run, so we can get cars. About to finish his first lap, I think. Should be on lap 1, actually. Yeah. So we do have 8 cars in the field tonight. Late show by Steve Waters. I think he could potentially pass Caden by the end of the race. As speaking of that, again, I must remind you that the cut limit today is 30 before you get a 5-second time penalty. So, just something to keep in mind. Beautiful sunset, by the way, here at Sebring. Jake suggested the skybots, and I think it was very well worth it. I mean, just look at that shot. Aiden audibly disgruntled with his car today. His first experience doing the road courses. Oh, he's just not going to turn here. I haven't taken any, but if you want to try to get one, go ahead. And Shy makes a bit of a slip here. Is One Team Proto makes the pass. I want to mention, despite the mistake Jackson made just a little bit ago, about a lap or two, excuse me, he is currently battling it out with AT4BB, one of his big rivals here in the ROX mods, especially when it comes to oval racing. These two are back at it. Caden's gonna be stuck around there. Let's see what he does. It's not moving. And he pulls into the pits, and we can avoid a caution. So we keep it green. I think Caden is gonna pull off for the show. And he goes back up onto the track. All right, let's focus on what's going on here, up at the front of the field. Shive has made another little bit of a slip up that allows oh, he makes another one right there. Jackson Cook is going to make the pass for third, or not. He nearly loses it. He'll get back going, and he will pass Shive. Both of them making huge mistakes, and now, despite the spin they had early on in the race, AT4BB is bound for a second place at least. If One Team Proto has a mistake, that would shake things up most certainly. So, so far the Don't Give Up today's by far the 45. They went all the way back to 6th place. Oh, what happened? This car on track? Okay. Alright. If it is, don't move it. It'll just happen. It's fine. Anyways, here is Shibe Jackson. Shibe is going to take the cut line. It worked for him last year with the 1.4 chassis ROX mods. Today, we're running with 1.5, a bit of a different physic. I don't know if those old lines can work anymore or not. Does seem like he's gained some time, and he's closing into the rear of the 38 car little by little. So that could, in fact, be something that helps him out here into the final turn. Side by side between the 38 and Shibe 21. I will say, so far, it looks like competition is back here in SLC, folks. We've gotten, I think, like 3 different leaders today. 2 of them from spins, but a lot of battling. Currently, the closest battle is now for third. You see on screen Jackson Cook and Shibe to make their way under the Corvette bridge into the Hotel Hairpin. Sector 1 times. Let's see what they look like. 32.1, a little bit faster there this time around for Jackson Cook. They're going to make their way through Steve Waters. Rebels not far behind. Unfortunately, it looks like Speedy's kind of lost a bit of their groove here. We'll move on from them, leave them alone. Focusing on what's happening here at the battle for third. Looks like Jackson Cook so far has been gaining and gaining towards the next car up. That is AT4BB. I believe they made a bit of a spin off screen earlier which both their spins that they've made so far, I've not seen. And again, very interesting the dynamic that you can see on your screen there between Scheib and Jackson. Jackson likes to stay within the track, within the lines of the curb. Scheib wants to take advantage of the loose track limits there, and he cuts right through, and that could work, and I also think both could work. The theme with the cut is that you go over the curb, that could unsettle you a little bit, turning, but you could also carry more speed, potentially, if you do it right, which does seem to help Scheib in Sector 3. Meanwhile, I want to mention a absolute ripper of a lap by 1TM Proto. Takes quick time, a 151.421. Impressive job there. Let's go back to the action here for the third place spot. Battle for the podium between two big heavy hitters from the seasons before. It is Scheib 21, Jackson Cook 38. Freedom Racing / Jackson Cook Racing and DGS into the Hotel Hairpin. We are on lap 8 here. We have, I believe, 13 to go. That was a great looking exit here by Scheib, closing in little by little into the sector that he seems to have the slight edge over the 38 car on. Oh, Scheib's gonna get loose. Oh, no, Scheib around, but he gets back going right away. Fortunately, no damage physics. That could have been his day, but very fortunately, the way he spun and recovered nearly instantly. I've seen people do a 360 without hitting anything that was slower than that, so hit the wall, got back going. I was worried that was going to be a bit of a rough incident, but I think he might be able to climb back over the next couple laps. Meanwhile, let's see what 1TM Proto gets going here. Not a valid lap time. He's just going to knock down another one. I guess we should talk about track limits. One car that is closer, though, currently by position, you are not affected. Speedy XR1, you currently have 3 more cuts until a 5-second penalty. Will not affect your current standings. Scheib with 10. Jackson with 12 to go. So, those are the people with slight risk. I guess a little bit here with your race leader Proto, though. With his current gap, it's really not going to affect him in any way. He just gets a single 5-second penalty, so we'll see. This also doesn't mean you could just like cut an entire sector. It's pretty obvious when that happens. So, anyways, really close at the start. Seems like with the mistakes we've been seeing today, the field's starting to spread out a little bit, have its own sort of pacing going on. There's cars all around the track, though. Currently 7 of them. Let's get a nice little view here. See what it looks like from free cam. Big gap there between first and second. About evenly spaced between second, third, and fourth here. Rebel not far behind also. Speedy seemingly a little bit on his own here, but closing in on his teammate, whom is a little bit down here in position. So let's get back to your leader here. 1TM Proto, the fixed cam. Just knocking down laps. 10 corner cuts, by the way, until Jackson and Scheib. When you guys reach your cut limit. Once you reach your cut limit, that will be 5 seconds added post-race. So, just a forewarning. I'd also like to mention last lap had an absolute heater by Scheib, and watching you there on that corner shy. Invalid. Okay. 151.206. So despite his current predicament on track, at least by lap time, definitely up there, does show the type of competition we have today between the top 5 cars, and really top 6 that are currently you see on track. I mean, just look at those lap times. 3 of them all within 3 seconds, or sorry, all 6 of them within 3 seconds of each other. Just genuinely shows how competitive things are today. Especially though, I'd like to mention the top 4, that is Shy, Proto, Jackson, and 824PB, are virtually pretty much about a second apart from each other lap time wise. That's just their best times. Consistently though, you can see Jackson in the last lap has set the second fastest. Shy, currently sitting here in 4th, has set the fastest lap last time by. He's going to have to make do with what he has today for this lap around. Jackson Cook making his way through the final turn. That's a pretty decent looking lap here. I don't know if that's going to be quick time worthy. It's not, but not a bad one. Would like to also mention we are halfway done. 10 laps to go. So, pretty much about halfway home today. Again, this is one of the longer races. Road course races in general tending to be that sort of direction. It does seem like Proto has been on a good spree. I believe our last winner, as we're going to check, since we do have the time to check the old stats. Our last winner, we had Jackson winning like 4 races in a row, essentially. But our last winner we had was 824BB. So we might be seeing a 3rd new winner this season. Again, Jackson Cook had some concerns coming into this race, that he was a little bit weaker on the road courses. He does have good pace overall. He won yesterday's non-championship race. But he might have to make do with what he has. He is closing in quite a bit here on 2nd place. The driver, 824BB. He's going to cut into the last couple set of corners here. There's sector 3. Now into the back straight. Just trying to see how much speed he can hold off from Jackson. But Jackson is homing in like an eagle, looking for its prey. That's your 2nd place car right there. The 45, 38 just behind them. Behind that, the 7. Seen them all day, but we might be seeing the battle for 2nd stir up. 824B runs a little bit wide. Jackson Cook running a pretty good line. I'd say about the difference in cars, maybe 5. So about a second here between the two, but definitely closing in. We look at the last lap, a 152.531. Jackson with a personal best, 151.527. Nearly a second faster in the last lap. Oh! 824B! Slipping up. He is going to spin out. And there's Shy for the podium. Unfortunately, just another mistake made there on the 45 car. Doesn't lose a whole lot out of it. And again, thankfully no damage physics, or else that would have been his day. He's still in the fight, especially for the 3rd place spot. Shy was close to a penalty. You got 5, by the way. Speedy, you're 1. Shouldn't really affect you unless you have a... it really shouldn't affect you unless there's like a late race restart or something like that, but it seems unlikely. So, just keep on doing you. You're bound for 6th place. Nine to go for Jackson as far as cuts go. Also, laps, there's 9 laps left, so that could be something that's in the back of his mind currently. And I think you could just about see the leader taking the final turn. He's been building up a gap over these last laps. He's been the only driver I think I've seen today that's been completely flawless. I think Steve didn't make any mistakes, but unfortunately just kind of joined a little bit too late to the show to make much of an impact. Proto, though, a purple sector 3 on that last lap, 150.478. That first sector there was invalid last time by. But definitely cooking some crazy stuff up. So he goes on cuts. He's a little bit over halfway, but I think he's, for the most part, pretty safe. We're just kind of winding things through to see what happens. I think Jackson in the 38th, the guy to watch today. Again, most certainly the points leader. I think there's no question in that, so not a bad points day for Jackson Cook. Still a podium that he'll be taking home. He won't be taking home the Easter egg. As we see Steve Waters. Uh-oh. There's no moving now, Steve Waters. So we're going to be watching Steve Waters. I think he might have disconnected. There's no movement still. That could shake things up a lot. That could mess a lot with One Team Proto's lead that he's been building up here. Speedy, if I was you, I'd be very careful about track limits because your guy might be out of it. And he is. So the yellow flag coming out here. One Team Proto. Yellow flag's out. Yellow flag's out. Race back happening. So keep on going to the line. Once you do, the yellow flag's out. We have a disconnection. Unfortunately there for Steve Waters, he'll have to join from the rear. Our current lineup, and Scheib exclaiming as he's set quick time 150.307. Again, there's no choose lane or anything like that. We're just gonna make our way through. Proto going very slowly with hopes that you can have more laps to run this race green. Scheib's going to go around. You should be very careful about cuts here, especially you, Speedy. You're pretty much locked in where you are. We'll likely be going green with 5 to go. Still a little bit of time here. I believe Scheib was third. So just refer to the race back order. So Scheib's in third. Jackson, if you could not be running up Proto's ass, that'd be nice. Scheib, please pass the 45 car that's ahead of you. And that is Steve Waters. If they pass him in our time, I'm going to remove the car. So we're going to target to go green on lap 15. Next lap will be 14, and then the lap after that we expect to go green. So. Five-lap sprint potentially coming up. We saw one of those earlier. That was the race we had last night. So things could get a little bit chaotic here after the race has been wound down for so long. So again, once you guys pass them, that will be it for Steve's night. A little bit of a ways to go till that point, though. I believe we are currently down to 6 cars. Speedy is still trying to make his way up to the field, by the way, so wouldn't be good to go green anyways. So Speedy, you're closing in pretty quickly. Just keep on going. So that does help Speedy out a little bit here. He could get a little bit of a refresher, and I think he's probably the most thankful for a caution. Though that one corner cut is probably in the back of his mind. We'll see. Should probably drive very gingerly at this point, Speedy. So, Speedy's going to merge to the back of the field. We make our way over. I'm going to teleport I'm going to speed myself 500 so I can get up to where Steve's car is. Gohan has joined. Unfortunately for him, it's a little bit too late to start in the show, as we are closing to 5 to go. But enjoy what there is to see. We don't do that. All right. And the leaders close into Steve's car, and unfortunately he's got to take the NF points. All right. Lights are black. One last little bit here. A lot of intensity and a lot of tension building up here. Shibe, if you could please move up. Again, your leader here, Once and Proto, Jackson Cook, longing very desperately to get a road course win. Could this be his day? Could Shibe rebound himself? How about Speedy? Speedy's been waiting all race. He had a couple of spins. Gets a little bit of a refresher. Once and Proto's been dominating the whole show. Once the other three behind him made their mistakes. Shibe, move up a little bit. Alright, that's good. Try not to pass a car out of you. Once again, jump rules still aren't a thing. Shibe, move up. Speedy, back off. Not pass until you cross the start-finish line. Watch the lights. Green flag. I'll let that slide. 824BB, you guys are basically rubber banding, so it's okay. So, to turn 1, Once again, Proto, Jackson Cook. Now we got a 3-way battle here for the podium spot. That is 824BB, Shibe, and Rebel. Trying to rebound a little bit here. A 5-car mass. And we close into your leader. Here's Shibe. Jackson Cook right behind Once again Proto. Down into the hotel hairpin we go. Side by side for the lead. Into the breaking point. Who's going to get the better exit? It looks like it'll be Once again Proto with a slightly better looking exit. I think Speedy's game plan is to wait for one of these guys to spin it. Again, look at that battle right there for the podium. 3 cars, Jackson Cook, 824BB, and Rebels. All 3 of them heavily amped up. If any of them make a spin, that could easily allow Speedy to move up a spot or 2. So that's definitely something he's probably thinking of. In fact, there we go. Rebels goes around. That allows a top 5 where Speedy gets our 1. It's now going to be Rebels' turn to wait and hope for something else to come around. Here we are side by side for the lead. Once again, Proto going to get the exit into the into the back straight we go. Jackson Cook in 3rd, holding off 824BB. 3 cuts here for Shibe till you get a 5-second penalty. Unfortunately for Speedy, you have a 5-second penalty that will be added to your positions post race. I suggest this at this point you have nothing to hold back. Just go for it. Once again, Proto, your leader's going to cross with 4 laps to go. Shibe's right there in the bumper. How about 3rd place? It is the 2 rivals of Best 5 and Jackson Cook. They've been going at it the entire season so far. Shibe's going to make a move for the lead. Once again, Proto going to have to bounce back to 2nd place, but he's right there in position. Shibe making any mistakes here could be detrimental. Same could go for any of these guys. Once again, Proto looking around, trying to see if he can carry more speed than Shibe. How about Jackson? Jackson's trying to close in as these 2 absolutely intensify. Crossover move for the lead. Side by side, Jackson Cook right behind. A24BB right behind that in 4th place, looking to potentially come to the benefit, to claim any benefits if these guys make mistakes. If he doesn't get loose, A24BB with a slight bit of a flick gets a little loose. He does recover and saves it very nicely. Shibe now under the attack by the 38 machine. As we make our way down into the down to the backstreet. Man, I am stuttering. I am Joe Biden here with my commentary. Things are great though. Once you and Proto down the backstreet, Shibe just behind them. Proto's going to go all the way down low. Shibe around the outside, taking the normal racing line. Not sure what that move was about. We make our way now to the final turn to Mark 3 to go. That looked like a beautiful exit by the Whelen Cadillac machine that Shibe is driving. Closing down the gap to about just under half a second into turn 1. Another good exit by Shibe. Once Team Proto not looking bad, but Shibe is on something here. Jackson Cook also right there in the 3rd place spot, and he gets a great exit. Here comes Jackson. Proto, Shibe, Jackson, A24BB. Those are your season's heavy hitters so far. Speedy looking to make something here. Proto gets a little bit wide. Shibe gets a little bit loose. Here comes Jackson Cook looking at the rear bumper. Shibe 21. Shibe right there at the attack at the 57. 3 laps to go, and I think the only time I've seen racing this close, we did see it last year, but we didn't see it with 3 cars. An absolute barn burner cooking up here. Here's Jackson Cook looking to make a move around the outside of Shibe 21. Once he and Proto trying to do what he can here. Jackson with a great exit, closing down a little bit here to closing down a little bit to Woodsy and Proto. Shibe's going to back it off a little bit, but he's still right there at the bumper into the S's in Sector 3. Look at Jackson Cook, a good run into the back straight. Only about a car length separating Woodsy and Proto. Jackson Cook. Proto goes down low. Jackson trying to follow him as if there's a draft here. They make their way into the final corner. 2 to go. And a little bit wide off of your leaders. Somehow it works out, especially for Proto. It's a very unorthodox line, but it somehow managed to work there. Again, your leaders 1, 2, and 3 all within a second of each other. Jackson's going to get loose! He will save it, but his hopes of winning might have been struck down. He gets to enjoy a podium. If these two had make any mistakes, it could be game over for them as well. Jackson's not out of the fight. And it looks like one team Proto currently holding off Shibe pretty well. It's built up about a 3-car length gap, but Shibe could be cooking something up here. He has about a lap and a half to figure things out. An absolutely chaotic restart there after Steve Waters' internet decided to give out on him. Shibe's going to go for the cut, try to cut down on space. Everyone is following suit. Let's see what we look like lap time-wise. It looks to be pretty even between Shibe and Woodsy and Proto, though. It does seem like Proto has been running slightly quicker. He's dipping down into the inside on that straight. Again, I don't know why. There's no draft in these, but it seems to be working for him, so I'm not going to question it either. He makes his way around the final turn. Keeps it clean, and he's going to build up to a pretty good gap. I think it's still possible to make it up, but that's a second and a half that's going to have to be made up by the end of the lap. As that was 150.843 set by Woodsy and Proto. Not a valid lap. But that being said, the white flag is now out. Proto could be your third new winner, but if he makes any mistakes, it could be in favor of Scheib. Scheib is cooking. Trying absolutely everything he can to catch up to him. Mind you, Jackson, you are one cut from a penalty. Scheib is one cut from a penalty. Proto's clean. So that's something to look out for. If any of these guys get a cut, that will be a 5-second post-race time penalty. And Proto's just been running a very clean race for himself. So we're not only watching the on position of the racers again. Here's A24BB with a good-looking run on Jackson. Still Jackson about 2 or 3 car lengths ahead. One team Proto pretty much having it at his own. Jackson Cook side by side with A24BB. Here he goes down the inside, another crossover move down the back straight. How about one team Proto? It is absolutely his race to lose. Look at that battle going on for the third place spot. The podium battle now raging on, as it is most certainly one team Proto's race to lose at this point. Making his way now to the final turn. We'll watch these guys at the podium in just a second. Out of the final turn in the number 57 Pepsi machine, your third new race winner, one team Proto. Second place Scheib. Let's see what goes on for the third place spot. Jackson Cook. Best Five's gonna have to merge back to fourth place. How about Speedy at 01? Can he build enough gap there to keep a top 5 today? Ticker's down, counting down for him. As Rebel makes his way across the line. Yes, it is. So Speedy gets to keep his top 5 current standings as they are. 1TM Proto Scheib 21. Jackson Cook is going to be in third place. Fourth is A24BB. Fifth is going to be Speedy 1. And sixth is going to be Rebel. Awesome race today, guys. Insane restart. So once you're ready, Proto, as he is currently doing some victory donuts, if you could head over to the start-finish line, we will get your Easter egg trophy out in just a second. Again, if you guys want to get interviewed, do stick around. We will interview everyone that stays. And don't forget tomorrow's race at 10 a.m. We'll be doing the All-American Stock Car Championship for a 6-lap feature. Just a tiny bit longer lap-wise than these, but also longer lap time, so that'll round out to about 16 minutes of racing. As Proto is going to burn it down. I think this might be their first ROX mod win. I'll see if I can fact check it unless he knows. But what an incredible win by 1TM Proto. Had to hold him off at the end of it after that late race restart. But had the race dominated, and I knew he had it today. So, once you're ready there, if you could park your car up on the start-finish line, let's get that trophy ready. I'd also like to mention quick time today is Scheib 21. They get to take home the extra point. Alright. If you could park it over here. Over here. Like sideways. Like behind the line. Jake, could you turn the trophy into a model and insert it? Alright. So as we get that trophy out, let's get an interview from today's race winner, 1TM Proto. We will mute you, but if you don't want to speak, you can use chat. I think, as far as I know, this is your first win in the ROX mod series, so congratulations. Was a very well fought for win. There was no easy shots here today at all. But despite this, you held a lot of domination. A lot of these other guys had some good shots at it. You didn't even start pole. You started second. It went back and forth a little bit. Yesterday, you didn't even have. You had a really tough break when you spun out at the start. But today, you were locked in. So you kept that at the back of your mind, most likely. But I want to hear from the man himself. What got you today to victory lane? So again, if you prefer chat, we could use so. And he's going to say So. I can speak, but I forgot what I was going to say. I'll just what happened today. I'll meet you again. Just tell me about what happened today and how'd your race go? Did I not anchor it? It's anchored. It doesn't have to be. We can move the F3S. Sorry, we're trying to get your trophy up. It should be here. Just try to make another model. Everything should be anchored, so yeah, everything's anchored now. Anyways, let's see. It went smoothly. I think I have more pace left in me, but overall result is great. This is sort of a late birthday present, I guess. Would have been nice to win yesterday on my birthday, but it was a good race. Well, you get to win the real one. And if you'd like for me to do a national anthem, I literally do not know what country you're from. If not, that's fine. I've been trying to make that a tradition, so yeah. Let me lower the egg for you. Or here. Let me put this right here. So the 57 Pepsi car used to be associated with bad luck, but it looks like today, on Easter weekend, is nothing but good luck. Alright. But it was a good race. Everyone pushed me to another level. I never knew I had road courses. Let's get your... Yeah. Today's result gives me confidence. For the next race. Well, the next one we have is another road course. We go out to Daytona. Of course, this weekend there's plenty more races to come. Three in fact. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. we will be doing Fonz's All-American Stock Car Championship for a fun 6-lap race. Sunday we'll be seeing the micros at 12 p.m. And then at 2 it's going to be the Super Indies for yet another feature. That being said, do you want to do an anthem, or I genuinely do not know what country you're from, if you're American or not. I don't care. If you don't, it's okay. What? Whoa. You gave me a thumbs up, so probably skip the anthem, so I don't know where you're from. Don't care. Let's get this victory lane photo out. I think I was supposed to put these out the other way. I was supposed... 1 second. Let me put the egg in the other direction. Here. Get your photo right now. Want to say congratulations to 1TM Proto for a fantastic first Rotspa win at the Sunset at Sebring. And what a fantastic first win to have. Won it both dominantly, but also not boringly by any stretch of means. That was insane. What is that flag? What country has the abbreviation NG? Oh, Nigeria. I'm gonna play that. I doubt there's one of those on Roblox. There's a new anthem. So, let me set that up for you. And thank you for your patience, guys. I'm gonna set this up to be as a, apparently your country has like a new anthem, so I hope it's not controversial. If it is, you let me know after the race. Let's get this, let's see which this is. Alright. I have no clue what it sounds like either myself. So, that being said, let's do this anthem, then we'll move on. We're gonna make it a trend. We're gonna try to, yeah. We're gonna try to do more anthems as the week goes on. Let's try it. Give it out to your race winner, 1TM Proto, winning his first Rotsma victory. Let's now get a word from second place. We gotta watch back, see what the results were real quickly. Again, we're gonna get everyone from this point on. The big part is done. Let's get a word out from, let's see, Shibe got second place. Is he still in the VC? Yes, he is. So we will be unmuting you, but if you prefer to use chat, you can. A very well fought race today here for you, Shibe. Gets home with a quick time. Basically showed up last minute. Had some very promising pace in the practice period and just throughout the race today. Still a very strong finish. Again, the biggest mover today, going all the way from the back to your second place spot, enjoying the podium, of course. But I want to hear what happened today for you. Hi. Unhappy with P2. Could have won. But it's okay. We look to the next week. That's fire. That's fire. Quick time. Get to take home. Yep. Most certainly. I saw Twin today at the F1 race in Formula One. I need to lock in Twin. Well, to be fair, if we are talking points here, not a bad points race at all. 19 points to come home with. Only a single one off of winning. So, pretty solid result overall. Biggest achievement today. Beating Jackson. Oh. We're going to have some cocky interviews coming up here. Jackson expressing his displeasure. No, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Same time as always. Also, Sebring for Shipe here. What's fastest track record? Well, the ROX mods this year are like 10, 20 seconds slower than last year's cars, if that says anything on this track. So, not here out to beat records today, but definitely a very fast lap of the cars that you have. I got a 150.307. Just overall, just the fastest I've seen on the ROX mods here this weekend. I saw some very comparable invalid laps. You can also see Proto's Sector 2 just outstanding. So, will that be it for your interview, Shibe? All right. Let's get a word then out of the guy that finished. Let's see. So we're gonna have some pretty spicy words, I think, from today's podium finisher. Jackson Cook won yesterday's race. A little bit of a frustrating race today for you. Had a good shot though at the end. Just didn't quite string things together. Still battled it out. Finishing a strong podium, of course, still getting to lead the championship by a pretty good margin, I believe. But what happened in today's race for you, Jackson?
I got cooked. And of course, Shibe had to leave as soon as I got unmuted. Freaking scaredy bitch.
Well, let's leave it for the record, because we still are live. So, what you
I don't
say
care.
is recorded. So,
I don't care.
Anyways.
How about you expose your IP address again, buddy?
No.
Yeah, so this can get taken down, and then I can say whatever I feel like saying after.
No.
It's frustrating. There's your answer. It's not fun to lose, especially in that way. I clipped the curb coming in out of the first turn, and I got loose. It's not fun at all.
Well,
I wasn't on Proto's level coming out of like the freaking hairpin turn or whatever the hell it was, the freaking hotel turn. I don't give a shit what that fuck it is. But like in the freaking S's, man, I was catching his ass. I could have had a real shot to win it. But whatever, points day. Trying to expand that points lead.
Still managing to finish with 18 points, of course. The pole position you got yesterday still stands.
Too good.
Even though you did cross in third, get to still string together a pretty good overall finish by points and 50 Robux that will be paid someday.
I wish Shab could have just one more corner cut, man. I could have gotten that second. Because I wasn't 5 seconds behind him. So if he had 5 seconds added, That would second place would have been mine. I was going slower, and it was allowing 824BB to catch, so it was allowing Best Vibes to catch up because I did not want to get a penalty. Because that would have taken away my podium. And it would have not been fun. Ouch. It sucks to win. I won so much this year on the ovals that I forgot what losing feels like until Richmond. And I get to feel it again.
So one of the things you've most desired this season was to get a road course win. You weren't quite satisfied last year winning at Hoosier. We got another one coming up, which is a track that you seem to be pretty savvy of course, being Daytona. I think you might be able to string together a win there.
No, I'm not going to. I don't like road courses, and they don't like me. I'm cooked. I'm
Right.
literally cooked. I don't care. I don't care. If it's a road course, it is a 50% chance that I'm going to win it. It's also a 50% chance that. Shut up! You sound like a 12-year-old big boy. Anyways, it's a 50% chance I'm going to win it, 50% chance that I'm going to do something like I just did and lose it. Depends on the speed that Proto has. You hear me? Okay. Okay, that's too close.
There you go.
That's too close. Hold on. Let me get the perfect. Okay, that's actually perfect. Yeah, you look at me in the eyes, buddy. We're going road course racing. I'm cooked.
Well, a lot of
Bitch.
excitement coming up in the future. We'll see what goes on ahead of there. Is there anything you want to say before we move on to Speedy SR1 here?
I'm being praised like I do every race because, everybody identifies me as the GOAT of SOC, even though that is probably not really true. It's all for funsies. It's all for funsies and jokes. It's not egotistical. You beat me. You beat me once on a road course, Proto. That's my weak spot. You freaking dingaling. I'm not washed. You're cooked on the ovals, buddy. You're cooked.
Well, let's get a word out here from fifth place finisher Speedy SR1. Managed to snag it out of that restart. A bit of a frustrating race for you today. Definitely had the pace to keep up with the lead group, but had a couple of mistakes made early on. But you get to enjoy a pretty solid top 5 finish. I want to hear what happened today for you, Speedy.
I am really not happy with how this ended. But points. I really hate the fact that I spun 3 times and on the same lap. Yeah, kind of. I didn't get a chance to get some practice. I mean, I was prepared physically, but I guess not mentally. Uh, I don't know. I can't say for the least. But next road course, I just really want to get on the podium and just win, because I felt like I had a car to get like second, at least second, or on the podium. But I just really hate that the fact that the car does the car has a lot more power than it normally does, and it just is a bit spin happy. It's a real trigger happy. So sorry, my nose is stuffed as hell.
That's fair enough. Hope you get better soon. Want to say about that? Is it allergies?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Mood.
dealing with this for a minute
Mood.
until the end of May.
Yeah, no, I get you on that. I get terrible allergies this time of year too. So, overall, just another race in the books. Hopefully, we can see some performance coming over at Daytona. Again, we saw yesterday you definitely had what it took to snag a second place. It just things just did not seem to be in today's race. So, unfortunate deal for you. Still get to take home the top 5. Managed to beat at least one of the drivers today. But yeah. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to most likely your teammate?
Oh yeah, definitely. Where's the fucking points, dude?
Yes.
You gotta give us updates on the freaking points.
I could try to
Yeah,
calculate
I
them
don't
tonight
even.
for the
I
ROTS
don't
mods.
even know where I am.
I'll calculate them tonight for the ROTS mods.
No, you won't.
Yeah,
No, I got
because I
time tonight.
really need to know where we are.
Oh, you're
Alright.
gonna
in
forget.
points.
I'll leave the call like as soon as I finish the standings. Alright. So I'll get the points done. Let's see where you are after this, Speedy. Let's get a word out from Steve Waters. So,
No.
So the first DNF we're talking to, I think we might be also talking to Caden too. Steve
Please,
Waters
really.
here. Came a little bit late to the show. It's kind of just running it, and then it seems like you disconnected. If you could take me through what happened today.
Well, first off, I'm gonna just be honest about this. It had one of those frozen screens, and so it was kind of an issue with the frozen screen. But it sucks that that even happened. Really did, but nothing else I could say. But but other than that, it was most I. He knew what I was doing. I had I was doing very good until the frozen screen issue happens. So I hope that doesn't affect it in the AAFT box bodies unless, something comes up family wise and whatnot. But I don't know what's going on with that.
What frame rate are you running this at? I think do you have it set at?
I haven't figured that one out yet. I'm gonna check the performance
Alright,
real
try
quick.
not to run it at 240 because like Roblox just doesn't handle it. I've learned that the most
No,
I'll
it does
run is
not.
140. Okay.
I'm on a PS5, so I'm actually good on that one. So
I mean, like Roblox itself can't handle like a high frame rate for some
yeah,
reason. My scripts just stop working. That's what I figured. So, uh,
Earning that was a good race for me. He minus the I had fun other than that at the other than the freezing screen, but what more I could really say.
well, I hope you
So
enjoyed the time on track you had. At least it's a good experience coming into tomorrow's race, which I know that is the one you usually target. I set you up with the Daryl Waltrip scheme, but if you want me to set you up with another car, let me know. I'll try to do that.
race choice. I'm just gonna do my primary race choice scheme.
That is that the what drivers that associated with?
Yeah. The Ryan Priest car,
Oh yeah, okay.
2023.
Yep, I'll get that set up for you tonight. Same goes for everyone else. If they have like a new scheme coming into tomorrow's race, let me know. We're going to be doing some real course racing with the Mustangs. That's going to be a fun one. We haven't seen one since we went to Laguna Seca last year. There's going to be a lot of real courses.
Is NASCAR racing or I kind of want to get Kyle Larson into a car, but I don't really.
Mhm.
But I kind of want him to be. I want him to be in Kyle Larson though. Hey, Kyle Larson, if you're watching this, please drive to 17, bro.
He's not
Damn.
watching.
One could wish.
I
One
hope.
could wish.
I
I give a lot. I'd give a lot.
The half Asian guy who said the N word is not watching this.
Wild.
Man, that sucks.
Wild.
It's not racist. It's just pointing out something.
No, for real. I kind of made a scheme for him, so I mean, shoot.
Yeah, whichever ones you want to run tomorrow is fine.
Yeah.
Will that do it for today? Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to Caden Larson?
Jackson Cook is always Sigma.
Day
W. Jackson.
All right, let's
Day Let's go.
Jackson, we got one more interview. Unless Shake wants to get one, but I think he's vibing.
Can we just not interview him, please?
We're gonna interview. That's fine. Let me just move him back. So up next here we have Caden Larson, who had a bit of a rough race today. Let's get a word out from you though. Let's teleport myself to Caden. No interview? Okay. Fair enough. Thanks for turning out to the show though today. Let's see where it goes in the future. That will do it for today's course of events. Let me set things. Oh hi.
Yeah, hi. Don't be an asshole. That's
Did
all I gotta say.
All right.
Anyway.
Did you want an interview?
Yeah.
Okay. We said no in game. Okay. Well then let's
yeah.
get on with it. So it seemed like you had some issues today, a lot of spinning. I'm not quite sure what happened. I was mostly focusing on I think it was proto during that period. But it seemed like you were a little bit frustrated with how the cars ran today. If you could bring me through what happened going on in the race.
Yeah, due to lack of experience with the ROX mods, I feel like it stopped following me, first of all. With the lack of experience in the ROX mods, I just didn't feel anything click to me. So it just kept sliding out and stuff. I wasn't shifting right. I was like kind of money shifting almost. And then it just kept sliding out. I'd never seen so much understeer in my life.
All right.
And yeah, like I said, the car was verbally abusing me. Not for real. For real, it really was.
All right then.
So you know what? Make your cars better.
Well, I mean, these cars are kind of set up for, some of the heavy hitters. So hopefully we could get you to figure out how to control them coming into the future. Again, these road courses don't come easy; they're pretty tough. So hopefully we can see.
I mean, Sebring is a pretty hard track for someone who's never done road courses before. And this was my first road course experience. Because I didn't do last year's. I didn't really feel like doing anything last year. And it just didn't really click to me this time.
All right.
So yeah.
Fair enough there. Hopefully coming to the future, we could see some sort of click there. If not, well, we got the ovals to look forward to. So, wherever that lies, it's all right, I guess. We're gonna write down the results real quickly of today's race. So DNS is T7 Jake. Glad to see you, Jake. Thank you for letting us. Jesus Christ, I was like Mike Tyson with that lisp. Thank you for letting us this fantastic facility, for this weekend. Genuinely, my gratitude goes out for you. So, let's have an awesome weekend, and we're gonna brief you guys over what's coming up. It is a pretty usual schedule.
Preview. What the fuck?
I didn't kick him. He did it on his own.
I did
Which
that.
is perfectly no.
I did that.
All right.
All right.
Okay. I just wanted to make it known.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so Jake, thank you for letting us this fantastic facility. It was awesome to race here. Awesome race as always. So, too big one in the future. I'm gonna work on wrapping the stream up. I'm also gonna write down the results. Sharks didn't come to the show. Did I get a photo? Please tell me I got a photo with Proto. If not, I could use a stream, I guess. I did. Thank God. I didn't get any photos of the racing though, so I don't know what you were doing. So that should do it. So again, I'd like to say thank you guys for watching. I am going to let me put this thing up here, miles away. Thank you guys for watching. This was a very fun race today. We had some good racing yesterday. This was the real Rotspot race. I'll be updating the standings if I remember them, and as I'm wrapping things up, of course I will. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. we're going to be doing a 6-lap All-American Stock Car Championship race. You might be wondering why it's 6 laps. The cars are a lot slower. Race should take about 16 minutes without cautions. If there is cautions, then that could easily make it over 20 minutes, which would make it over half of the distance of the Rotsmod race. So, we'll see. Sunday, we're going to be doing the Formula Micros at 12. We're going to see how many laps that is. I'm pretty sure that was 15, but I want to just verify before I, let me check it for you guys real quickly. "12 laps on Sunday. That's a little bit over half the distance of the Rotsmod race. And then the Super Indies are going to double the distance we did today, but the car's a lot faster. Those will be racing at 2 p.m. So again, to brief you guys, tomorrow 12 p.m. is going to be an All-American Stock Car Championship for a 6-lap sprint in the SLCRA server. That'll be the lone race going on in SLCRA this weekend. We'll be back at SLC for Sunday using the Formula Micros at 12 p.m. for 12 laps. And then the Super Indies, again, 2 p.m. for 40 laps. All times US Pacific Standard Time, but we should be able to have some fantastic timestamps for you guys. That being said, thank you guys for watching. That is the Rotsmods. The next time we'll be out at Daytona next weekend with these fantastic machines for some more high-action racing.
To you.